Hi, and welcome back to another episode of Brawn Bites. Today's topic is, what does it mean to be media literate in today's world? The Center for Media Literacy defines it as a framework to assess, analyze, evaluate, create, participate with messages in a variety of forms. Media literacy builds on an understanding of the role of media in society, as well as essential skills of inquiry and self-expression necessary for citizens of a democracy. We done? Now that's a nice tidy definition that has been well thought out, but what does it really mean for teachers and learners? As we've seen in recent years, the growth of various forms of media is unending, and we are bombarded by media messages constantly throughout the day. Most experts claim that we receive 4,000 to 10,000 exposures to advertisements per day. This doesn't include non-commercial messages. So how do we learn to deal with all this information coming at us? In addition, how do we teach kids to navigate these messages and participate in a positive way? And why is this important anyway? The reality is that students will spend all their adult lives in a multitasking, multifaceted, technology-driven, diverse, vibrant world, and they must arrive equipped to do so. How can we possibly prepare students with all the necessary skills to navigate this vibrant world? I'll give you a hint. It won't be through memorizing facts about media literacy. Here's what a few fellow educators thought about what it means to be media literate in today's world. Kriti Kapoor mentioned that media literacy is tied to the media realities of the day and age. Amy Singh added that the ability to discern and think critically is a huge part of being media literate. Webius added, what is the effect of media literacy on various socioeconomic groups? Finally, Tracy Skoholski added that communicating effectively, analyzing information, and discerning perspectives and bias, all using multiple forms of media, is what she thinks of when she thinks of media literacy. Digging in a bit deeper now, here are a few core concepts when approaching media literacy. First of all, we have to understand that media literacy education is about process, not content. I know I can't remember all those historical dates I memorized in high school, but I do remember skills like researching and editing. Instead of focusing on teaching kids how to make a video or presentation using digital media, we should be asking key questions that foster higher order thinking. According to Tholman and Joel, students must be able to learn how to identify key concepts, how to make connections between multiple ideas, how to ask pertinent questions, identify fallacies, and how to formulate a response. As writer Alvin Toffler points out, the illiterate of the 21st century will not be those who cannot read and write, but those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. Second, media literacy education needs to expand the concept of text to mean many new forms of emerging media. Students need to be able to not only deconstruct, but also construct meaningful and positive ideas through the use of various tools. Thirdly, media literacy must be based in inquiry. Students need to be able to ask important questions about the media they encounter. Questions like, is this new scientific study on diet and weight valid? Why does that car commercial keep going around in my head? What does it mean when the news reporter talks about a photo opportunity? What was excluded or included in this YouTube video, and for what purpose? As Kellner and Scher pointed out in 2007, media do not present reality like transparent windows because media messages are created, shaped, and positioned through a construction process. This construction involves many decisions about what to include or exclude or how to represent reality. As parents and teachers, our goal should be to guide, coach, prod, challenge the learner to discover how to go about finding an answer. Don't be afraid to tell students, I don't know. How could we find out? Here are 5 key questions identified by the Center of Media Literacy that foster conversations around media. First of all, who created this message? It's crucial to understand that all media messages are constructed. They are not natural, nor are they reflections of the real world. This is important because often what is constructed by a few people becomes accepted by many. Having students think critically about potential bias in media messages is the first step in fostering independent and engaged citizens. What creative techniques are used to grab my attention? Media is created using specific language with its own rules. Words, music, color, movement, camera angles, all were chosen deliberately to elicit certain thoughts and emotions. The more we understand these elements, the less susceptible we are to manipulation, and the more we will enjoy and appreciate media as well. Number 3. How will people different from me understand this message? Every personal experience we have had is brought with us when we examine different media messages. Therefore, our reactions to these messages will be drastically different depending on our background. Understanding this will help in asking the right questions about others' reactions. Having this kind of conversation also builds empathy and understanding of minority perspectives. Number 4, what lifestyles, values, and points of view are represented in or omitted from this message? Invariably, the choices made by the constructors of these messages will be reflective of certain values. It is important to be able to name these values and to recognize the values that are absent as well. The realization that every message carries with it both overt and latent values will allow students to critically assess whether to accept or reject a given message. Number 5, why is this message being sent? Never before in human history have we had the ability to instantly access an audience and to say whatever we want to the world at large. Hello. The art of persuasion is a growing craft in today's world. All messages have a purpose, and the ability to recognize this will allow students to critically engage in the message and be able to respond appropriately. In Michael Colefield's book, Web Literacy for Student Fact Checkers, there are great resources and sample activities to help practice the skills of fact-checking online content for yourself. In addition to identifying strategies to help get to the bottom of a given message, he also identifies a useful habit of media-literate humans. Check your emotions. It becomes all too easy to hit that like or share button after having a strong emotional reaction. This is when we need to stop and take the time to evaluate. So what does it mean to be media literate in today's world? It means being an informed citizen who understands, shares in, and contributes to the public debate. It means the ability to think critically about media messages and what is behind them. It means a society of individuals who are in charge of their own learning, empowering them to take an active rather than a passive role in acquiring new knowledge and skills. It means students who are actively engaged in creating, curating, and distributing media of substance and value. And above all, it means being reflective, because ultimately today's media allows the most hateful and the most beautiful voices to be heard like never before. That's all for this time. Thanks for watching. Please join the conversation in the comment section down below, and don't forget to like and share this video. Bye for now.